So we're bringing in Sarakshi right now, Director of Audience Development for The Hill. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Sarakshi, what do these men need to do to make themselves stand out amongst Floridians?
Look, Florida has traditionally been a battleground state up and down the ballot, and in recent years, it's tilted more and more to the right. Democrats have struggled in the state particularly, and it's becoming a battleground state once again in the GOP primary. Like Kelly said, you have three candidates vying for the top spot, and two of them are frontrunners. But Suarez is just such a long shot. But some people are wondering if he's running for the VP slot or if he's just starting to make a name for himself on a national stage. But in Florida in particular, and across the country, Latinos have been leaning right for a variety of reasons. And a Republican candidate coming from South Florida isn't particularly surprising. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' victory in 2022 was in part due to Latino voters. They turned out for him and other Republicans in Miami-Dade County, which is predominantly Hispanic. But the Miami mayor definitely faces an uphill battle when it comes to the nomination, just given the current state of the polls and his relatively low national name recognition.
Let's talk about that. So Mayor Suarez, as you point out, the only Latino candidate so far for the GOP. Let's say he is added as VP to either DeSantis or Trump's ticket. Who would benefit more from him potentially bringing a Latino vote to the Republican Party?
Look, the Miami mayor's campaign really plays well into the narrative of the Republicans, saying that they're diverse and their policies are conservative and not race-based, and that they have a diverse political field. The anti-woke ideology movement is pretty strong with Latinos as well, who are generally, socially conservative, even if they are Democrats. The Cuban community has also leaned right for a very long time, and some Latinos just don't want to focus on identity politics. They're more focused on the economy, education, healthcare. So it's really interesting to see how this will all play out in 2024.
Meanwhile, we're looking at some of the barbs being traded between DeSantis and California Governor Gavin Newsom. And just yesterday, DeSantis asked why Newsom wouldn't get in the race himself and challenge President Biden. What do you make of this latest statement?
I think Ron DeSantis has been very careful about how he goes about attacking his opponents, whether it's, former President Trump or Gavin Newsom or anyone else. He has really been careful about how he criticizes Trump. While he certainly has criticized him, he's never really gone after him with everything he's got. And it just shows just what a stronghold former President Trump still has on the party. But in this particular case, with the barbs exchange between DeSantis and Newsom, the migrant flights from Florida to California have been such a huge topic of discussion, and Newsom has used it as an excuse to really go after Ron DeSantis, and so it's only natural that DeSantis would be forced to respond to, but DeSantis did not take up Newsom's offer to debate him.
Meanwhile, President Biden having his first campaign rally tomorrow, he is expected to talk about new inflation numbers. Is that the right topic for him to choose? Which topic has voters' hearts right now? What does he need to do to get their attention?
Republicans have really been hammering President Biden over prices for more than a year, right? And there's finally some good news on inflation for Americans, American voters, and by extension, President Joe Biden. Prices for all things fell down in the latest report that was released yesterday. Just to name a few numbers, gasoline prices fell down 5.6%. Egg prices have dropped nearly 14%. Furniture, airline ticket prices have dropped as well. So given that this has been a major topic of discussion that he has faced criticism for, it's only natural that President Biden will address this issue.
Do you think there is a discrepancy between the lived experience of Americans who, yes, potentially, if you objectively look at the numbers compared to 6 months or a year ago, you're seeing a decrease of cents, but still every day they're going to the gas pump and they're hurting. Every day they're checking out at the grocery store and hurting.
I think, given how high the prices were and given the bad news that people were seeing month after month, yesterday's report is only welcome news to both Wall Street and the White House. I can't really talk about, how voters on the street feel, but I can say that this is really welcome news for the White House, and they're really going to look to focus on the fact that, prices are down and the numbers are looking better for Americans at large.
Okay, Sarakshi Rai, I appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.